Hey YouTube, this is Trains and Destinations, and in today's video I'm going to be doing another phone unboxing. So this is a phone I've been wanting to try out for a while now. It's part of a phone series that I've always wanted to try out. It is a more budget phone, so it was easy on the wallet to get, and yeah, I just want to try it out, see how it is. And that phone is this. This here is an LG Stylo 5. Now you might not see it because I have the top covered up because there's a sticker on it which has my name and info. I got this phone from Best Buy for $200. That's the sale price right now. I do believe that brand new this phone goes for $300. That's the full original MSRP, but right now it's on sale for $200 unlocked. It works for all carriers, both CDMA and GSM. And I do believe it is on sale because as of the time of this recording, the LG Stylo 6 just came out. So this is the Stylo 5. It came out in 2019. And up until this point, this phone pretty much had no competition. The LG Stylo series has always been known as the budget Samsung Galaxy Note series because the Note, of course, has the S Pen, and those phones are expensive. They're easily $700–800 plus. This phone, however, like I said, is $300 or under. This particular one is unlocked. I got it on sale at Best Buy for $200. If you want a link to where I got this phone from on Best Buy, just say below in the comments and I'll give you the link. But yeah, this phone series has always been known as the budget Note. If you wanted a phone with a stylus, which for some people, that's actually pretty cool. It's a pretty cool feature. For me personally, my first smartphone actually was a Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Unfortunately, I don't have the phone anymore, but that was my first smartphone, a Galaxy Note 4, which was a hand-me-down from my brother. He used the phone for a year, then he gave it to me. That happened to be my first smartphone. And while I didn't use the S Pen on that phone much, the stylus itself was nevertheless a cool feature. So this phone, like I said, does have a stylus. And yeah, up until now, if you wanted a phone with a stylus, pretty much all you had was the Galaxy Note and then the Stylo 5. But now, things are a little different because Motorola just came out with the Moto G stylus, which is a bit of competition now for this phone. So looking at the box here, you can see some of the features. You see your Qualcomm logo. This does have DTS surround sound, and this particular one is unlocked. There are many carrier variants, mainly on prepaid carriers. They can also get the phone on major carriers such as Verizon, but this one is fully unlocked. It'll work on all major US carriers, both GSM and CDMA. So pretty much any carrier in the US, this phone will work on. So going over the box is a very simple, plain black box. So let's go ahead and get going. So I already cut off the seal, but when you open up the box, you're first greeted with this cloth with some LG embroidery. I suppose this is a cleaning cloth. It feels like microfiber, although it's a little scratchy. So I'd probably use my own microfiber cloth, but it is nice that it's included. It's a nice little aesthetic touch. And then next you're greeted with the phone itself. As you can see, that's the front, and then that's the back of the phone. And there's your top, and then the bottom, but I'll go over all that in a sec. Underneath that, you have your quick start guide for your LG Stylo 5. And then the only other thing you get in the box is a USB-C cable and a fast charger, which is pretty nice. I honestly expected for a more budget phone like this to not have a fast charger, but this does have it. It's a pretty compact little brick, so I am glad that it includes it. And that's it. That's all you pretty much get. Like I said, this is definitely a budget phone. It's $200, so this is not going to have anything crazy in the box, but it's still a pretty nice unboxing experience. So this is the phone itself, and I'll just talk about it a little bit more as I zoom in. So right now, this phone's main competition is the new Moto G stylus. Now the difference is that price-wise, the G stylus is $100 more expensive, but in many respects, that phone is better. So in terms of specs, the Moto G stylus has the Snapdragon 665, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and 128 gigs of storage. This phone has a Snapdragon 450 processor, 3 gigabytes of RAM, and 32 gigabytes of storage. So this phone definitely has much lower specs. Although, according to some of the reviews I've read, this phone still has the better stylus. The Moto G stylus is Moto's first phone with a stylus, and from what I've read, the stylus is not that good, but this phone, though, has a much better feeling stylus. This phone also has palm rejection when you do write on it, which the Moto G stylus does not have palm rejection. So if the stylus is a big feature for you, then this phone might be a better deal. But otherwise, the Moto G stylus does seem to be better. But anyway, though, that's not the focus of this video. The focus of the video is simply an unboxing and quick overview. So at the bottom here of your LG Stylo 5, you pretty much have all the ports in the world. And it's kind of interesting how, you know, your flagship phones have, you know, some of this stuff gone from them, but this still has it. So this has a headphone jack, which a lot of flagship phones don't have anymore. This has your USB-C port as well as your speaker. There is no IP certification for this phone, so just be aware of that. I do believe this is aluminum, so this phone does have metal sides to it. Not sure if this is aluminum, actually. I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. And right here is your pen, so I'll take out the pen real quick. Unlike a Galaxy Note where you can kind of just like pop out the pen, this you kind of have to go in with your fingernail to take it out, but this is how your pen looks. It's a very thin pen. I don't believe there's a battery in this like there is in the S Pen. This is just more of a capacitive pen. So a lot more basic, but it is a stylus. It does work. So that's pretty cool. And then on the back of the phone, you have a single 13 megapixel camera as well as your fingerprint sensor. On the right side of the phone, you have your power button. And on the left side of the phone, you have your volume rockers, which feel pretty nice to click on. So anyway, let's go ahead and take off the plastic wrap. Which, oh yeah, it starts back here. Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. There we go. So feeling the phone in hand, yeah, this is definitely aluminum on the sides here. So you have these flat aluminum sides, and then the back is like this glossy plastic. It's not a glass back, it's a glossy plastic, which I'm really not a huge fan of. I'd prefer an aluminum back or a matte black plastic finish, because this is, I feel like this can scratch very easily. So if you do get this phone, get a case for it. One thing I do like though is that there's no camera bump. So a lot of phones, especially even budget phones now, have camera bumps, but this one, the camera is completely flush. So once you do put a case on this phone, the camera is completely protected. And this is the front end of the phone. This phone has a 6.2 inch 1080p IPS display. It looks really nice. You have your nice little earpiece up here, which I like the design of that. That speaker, that front earpiece is not going to get damaged easily. So I like that. You have your front facing, I believe it's a 5 or 8 megapixel, I think it's a 5 megapixel camera up front. There's no notch, so I'll turn on the phone real quick. There is no notch. Probably, oh, okay, the battery's dead. So I can't turn on right now because the battery's dead. Maybe I'll throw in an extra clip once I have it charged up. But you can see it is a nice display. There is no notch. And just for comparison, this phone is almost the same size as this phone. So this is my LG V40, which I did a video on. And yeah, if you take a look, these phones are basically the same size, although it looks like the Stylo is a little bit bigger even than the V40. So you can see, in terms of the height, both phones are basically the same, but the Stylo is a little bit thicker, as you would expect, but a little bit wider too, you know, because the Stylo does have much bigger bezels. But in terms of like the height, both phones are basically the same height. They're roughly the same exact height, as you can see. They're very close to being the same exact size. Now, the V40 does have a 6.4 inch display, but that's because it has thinner bezels. The Stylo has a 6.2 inch display. It is 1080p, which is definitely very nice. A lot of budget phones have these 720p HD plus displays, and they're honestly terrible. I mean, really, if you're going to get a phone with 1080p. A 720p screen is not going to look good, no matter really what the phone is. Unless it has a small screen size, a 720p panel will just not look good. So I'm very glad that this does have a 1080p panel. It will just make the phone easier to use, just make it a more pleasurable experience. Because I mean, when you use a phone, the screen's the biggest thing you look at. So just saying, if you're going to get a budget phone, I don't care what the phone is. I don't care if it's 1440 by 720 or whatever. Get a phone that has at least a 1080p display. Do not get a phone for 720p. But anyway, little rant over. So like I said, it is a nice looking display. I'll probably throw in a quick clip once I have it charged up. Alright guys, so it's been a few hours now and the LG Stylo 5 is fully charged up, so let's go ahead and turn it on. See what the display looks like. So you can see there, LG Stylo 5 powered by Android. As you can see there. Move this laptop out of the way. There we go. So you got your little startup animation there from LG. Life's good. Let me just point this down a little bit. So as you can see here, this is a 6.2 inch 1080p IPS display. It does look really nice for an IPS screen, as you can see. So it's pretty sharp, it's pretty clear, and I do like the fact that there's no bezels. Sorry, a notch. There are bezels, but they're not that big, but I do like the fact that this phone does not have a notch, so it's a pretty clean look. So if you're someone who doesn't like the bezel trend, or rather I should say, if you're someone who doesn't like the notch trend, then this phone will be a good fit for you.